Hi, this is Lance from Midwest Air Compressor, and I am showing you how to do service on one of our Air Max compressors. This will be a video that works well for 5 to our 25 horse units, and I'm going to break down the basics and show you hands-on how to service it. So let's jump right into it. I already did all the diagnostic work to it, found out that there was a problem with the inlet, so that was resolved. So right now I'm just doing basic service. It's prepped for getting washed, cover the motor, cover the inlet, everything else, cover the control panel. So once I get done with the service, it's going to be thoroughly washed to clean out the cooler and any oil residue that was left over on the machine. First thing we're going to start with is your air filter housing. Because right now this pipe is really close to the top, so some of you might not be able to turn that cap and bring it off. So is what we're going to do is we loosen up this nut, then we can just work this housing out like so, and then you can access the top of this and take it out. All you do is simply unscrew this cap and replace the element that's in it. Then once you're done, replace it and put it back down there and tighten up that hose clamp, and you should be good to go. With the air filter tightened back down and the air filter changed, next we're going to focus on the oil filter. Typically I like to use this style chain wrench. It fits on multiple different sizes of oil filter, and it gives you a little bit more room to work because it's got a shorter throw. Basically you're going to put it on, thread it down, lefty loosey. Once you have it cracked loose, you can take the wrench off and you should be able to undo the filter by hand like this. There will be oil. Put down some oil soak or have something to catch the oil, but ultimately it's going to drain out from the cooler sitting right here. It's just going to gravity feed down. Once you have the oil filter removed, you want to double check and make sure that the seal that was on the oil filter is not up and stuck onto this housing. If you have two filters there or two O-rings there, it will cause a massive leak. So double check and make sure that the old O-ring did not stick to that surface. Now that you've double checked and made sure that there isn't two O-rings up on the oil filter housing, it's not a bad idea to wipe that down for any dirt, debris, or anything that can cause a void in the seal for your oil filter. Clean the threads, it's never a bad idea. And you should have a clean surface for your new filter to go on. Here we have the new oil filter ready to install, and I have pre-filled it with fresh oil. The only thing I'm going to do is take a little film of oil and make sure that that O-ring has a slight coating on it before I tighten it up. Just like that. Next, slowly find the thread. If it's catching, back it off so you don't cross thread it. Should spin on very, very easily till the seal hits. Then tighten it as much as you can by hand. Do not use a wrench to tighten it. Get it nice and snug as much as you can by hand, and that's all you have to do for the oil filter. Next, you're going to want to remove this line, and break this loose. This, if you're running and it has pressure built up into it, you closed and isolated this compressor from the system, there's going to be pressure in this line. So crack it slow. If you have a valve off the compressor, close it. So you're going to bleed this line all the way through, all the way to the other side of the cooler. This will hold pressure even if the unit is shut down. So crack this line loose to bleed it. You'll probably have to remove this whole line so you can get this lid off to change the separator, which I'm going to show you how to do now. Crack this line, take it off. Pause it. Next, remove this line at this fitting. There's a check valve right here. This line goes all the way down in. It's called your scavenge line. So remove it right here, which I'll show you how to do right now. Loosen this up and pull this line off. Now that you have this loose and bleeding off all the pressure from this line to wherever your shutoff is, if it's mounted on a tank, you might need to blow down the tank just to relieve this pressure here. But once this is all relieved, blowing down all of its pressure, then you can spin this one off like that. You also need to remove this sensor. It's just threaded right here. Once you back it out, you can pull the sensor out, and you should be able to remove the top of this lid, which contains your separator. Once you have this line bled off, this sensor removed, and these two other lines, you now can start removing this lid. Just like so, all the way around. Take all these top lids off. It's never a bad idea before you fully remove this lid to mark it like so, just so you have some point of reference to when you're reinstalling the top of the lid. Once you have all the bolts removed, you should be able to lift this out. This is your separator. It's stuck. This is your scavenge line. Some models you might need to remove this nut and slide that all the way up and out, but this is the filter that you're changing. Once that it's removed, you want to clean this surface and this surface, scrape all this off so it's very, very clean, and make sure that your new separator has these staples in it or this band, either one. This is what grounds between your lid, your separator, and here for any static electricity that might be contained in this. Once you have both of these surfaces clean, you're now ready to install the new separator. I like to use a little bit of anti-seize on the top of this and on the lid surface, just to help with removal of the separator the next time you have to do the surface. It just stops that seal from sticking from the bottom and the top. So just drop this in. Your clearance around your bolt holes centers it once you put the lid on. Now that we have the lid on, make sure those marks line up that you put on previously. Then you can put the scavenge line right in here, bolt these down, attach these lines, attach this. Double check all of your O-rings on your flanges to make sure that they're in good shape, otherwise it can cause a massive air leak. Check it on this side and this side. Make sure that your tapers are clean on your hose ends, and you should be ready to install, and we'll show you how to do that now.
Go.
When you're tightening these lid bolts down, you also want to do it in a star pattern. Go here and go directly across, little at a time until it's snug, and here to here, then this back one to this one, until you have it pretty much all the way snug down. Then go around in a circle to each one so they're tight.